Well, what do we got over here? Bada boom, Real's one in the room. How you doing? You are listening. Big boobs, huh? And you are listening to True Real Heat. How you doing?
All right, ready when you are.
Hey guys, I may have go away heat, but these guys have true heel heat. So you better listen to the podcast or else I'm gonna kick you in your fucking cock and balls.
Hey everybody, it's Tony Schiavone of All Elite Wrestling, and this is True Hill Heat. And I said it right, you motherfuckers.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3, and we are back once again with another TV show podcast review. This time, we're talking all about Gen V seasons 1 and 2 review, going over the Amazon Prime series based off of The Boys and that long series that's been going over on Amazon for the last couple of years. Gen V is the spinoff of that, talking all about the younger soups in this universe. And let's talk all about it ahead of The Boys' final season, season 5, coming up later in 2026. And of course, to do that, I am joined solo. I'm going solo here. I am by myself. I'm an expert when it comes to Gen V. I've been watching the show since the show began back in 2023, and this is my entry point to the Boys universe. I did not watch The Boys. I've watched about like 1 or 2 episodes of The Boys back when I think like season 2 was starting, when Jimmy McRae started watching it on his channel. I was there. You could see over on his channel. I was there watching it with him when the series first started. I fell off because I had life happens. I had a missus that came into my life. That's when my missus came into my life. Had kids in the time that's being. So I had a lot of stuff that kind of distracted me. I had to focus on the channel, focus on wrestling, focus on some basketball, other stuff to explore. So I wasn't able to go in depth with The Boys. But Gen V is the one that really kind of like, wow, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I'm going to follow along with this. And then after watching season 1 of Gen V, I actually went through and then completely enthralled myself into The Boys universe and binge watched seasons 1 through 4. And then, of course, I am ready for season 5. But that is my entry point to The Boys universe. What was yours? That's what I want to know. If you're watching this on the premiere, if you're watching this on demand, when did you discover The Boys universe so we can know where everybody is at? Let me know in the comments down below. But of course, appreciate y'all if you're watching this on the premiere. Appreciate this if you're watching this on demand. Either way, show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on the video. That helps out the YouTube algorithm. You can also share this video with all your Gen V and Boys family, friends, and fans on all the social media platforms. You can also hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. We're closely approaching 1,000 subscribers, so if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. It goes a long way to help our channel grow and move forward, and we always appreciate that. And of course, if you're watching us on the premiere, sound off in the live chat, sound off in the comment section to keep the convo going. But without further ado, let's get into Gen V. Gen V season 1 is where we're going to start off. The Boys had been through about 3 seasons at the point that they started the spinoff of Gen V, focusing on the younger soups in this universe. The first season of Gen V, it follows along with our main character, which is Marie Monroe, played by Jazz Sinclair. She starts off at the Red River Room. Basically, it's an orphanage for super powered orphans, and she is chosen as a freshman after applying for Godolkin University, which is the #1 university when it comes to for soups. Her power, talking about Marie, her power is to manipulate blood. She wants to become a part of the Seven because she has a very troubled past story, and we got to see that to open the show. The first scene of the show, it shows a younger Marie with her younger sister. They're playing around and everything until she grabs her stomach. We see that Marie is experiencing her first period. So she goes to the bathroom and she's basically, checking out the blood and stuff, using the bathroom and everything because her stomach wasn't working. So she reaches down and she sees the blood, but we can see the blood is basically levitating because she has this blood manipulation power. Her parents come in and try to check on her when they hear her like fall down and is startled by the fact that she can manipulate blood. This is when she discovers that she is super powered, that she has the compound V in her system. And then she proceeds, when her parents bust into the bathroom, she proceeds to kill her mother and her father by accident because the blood from her period basically goes wild because she doesn't know how to control her power. So she accidentally kills her parents. Her sister, who was there, basically blames her for it and will never forgive her. She wants to be a part of the Seven to basically make her sister proud. However, when she starts at Godolkin University, she has a little bit of things that she has hurdles that she has to overcome. She's kind of like an outcast, if you will. After though, she meets some classmates, both as friends, enemies, and as lovers. Eventually, Marie learns more about Godolkin and the terrible secret that they are hiding. That comes primarily from Luke. Luke is our basically our visionary, or our character that's more of like an extension of the viewer early on, but he has a weird reaction to all of this. Luke is known as Golden Boy. He's a number one ranked soup at Godolkin University, and he's talking to his professor, and it seems like he is basically getting prepped to become part of the Seven. He holds the top ranking at the university. He has a hot girlfriend named Kate who can manipulate people by just touching them. They will do whatever she wants them to do. He has a group of devoted friends like Andre, who is the son of Polarity. He has the power of controlling metal. Basically, he's the Black Magneto. And he also has his friend Jordan, which is a bi-gendered powered individual. They have the power to basically use beams of light as like force fields to basically overpower people. They have unlimited strength, but their biggest power is that they can effortlessly go from male to female. It's played by both London Thor and Derek Liu. And I think that this is one of the most innovative, super-powered individuals I've ever seen in any type of genre, whether it be comic books, whether it be TV, and the fact that you're able to kind of have this character that you can address a lot of overarching issues and overarching situations that someone who is dealing with being bisexual or dealing with their sexuality. This is a great character that you can use to tell some new stories that we don't usually see from superheroes. Golden Boy is the favorite to end up in the Seven until information that he knows about Godolkin gives him strange visions of a boy in a forest. That boy is his actual brother, who he has been made to believe died because Kate is working with Godolkin University and touching him to make him believe that he didn't have a brother and that his brother died, even though his brother is alive and is at the bottom of the school being research being made on him and experiments and shit. This pushes Golden Boy over the edge. He decides to kill his professor because he has the power to light himself on fire. So he hugs the professor, lights him on fire, killing him. Marie, who is a little bit upset because she goes out with the group of classmates, Andre, Kate, and Golden Boy. They go out for a night on the town. They go and do drugs and have a party at a club that they sneak into because of Kate. But Andre, in his attempt to flirt with a girl, he tries to get the girl to go on a date with him or have fun with him. So he basically makes like out of a quarter an eagle because he can control the metal, and he basically tries to get the eagle to fly into somebody's cup, and he tells the girl that if he's able to do it, she has to go out with him. By the way, Andre is played by Chance Perdomo, great actor, RIP to him. Andre basically is bumped. So the quarter that's like an eagle, it basically rapid fire goes into someone's neck, basically killing them. They're losing blood at a rapid rate. But thankfully, they have a blood manipulator with the team. While the rest of the teams, they go and leave and flee the scene of the crime before they're caught. Marie decides to help the person because she wants to help people. That's why she wants to be a superhero. She manipulates her blood and is able to basically control the wound. She puts all her blood back into her system. She closes the wound and she saves the lady. But of course, the patrons of the bar is videotaping this, and the video links online. It leads to the professor basically kicking Marie out of the program and basically expelling her because he basically wants to hide the fact that it was the other students that did it and basically wants to make Marie the fall guy. So when Marie goes back to talk to him and call him out for this nonsense, she runs into Jordan first, who she had an issue with early on in the episode because she wants to be a part of the crime division of Godolkin University, but Jordan is the teacher's assistant and basically denies her. So it leads to Marie going back to the office to see what happened, and she sees Golden Boy killing the professor. She promises to keep quiet, but Golden Boy doesn't believe her. So he basically goes after her, leads to a big fight with Jordan coming to Marie's rescue as she continues to run out of there. Golden Boy still going after her. He eventually runs into Andre outside. He says something to Andre saying that it's in your dad or something like that before he decides to kill himself, ending himself and ending his pain. What he leaves Marie and Andre with is vague information about something called the Woods that Godolkin is behind. And the two spend the rest of the season trying to figure everything out. There are a lot of moving pieces at play here, not only in Godolkin University, but also with the Gen V characters in the larger boys universe. But after all of that, let's talk about some of like the characters, because that was just the first episode that I just went into, and it took me like 10 minutes to explain all of that. So let's just go into the characters, and then we can break down what went down with them in season 1. We have Marie Monroe, who's the main character. We see that she has humokinesis, which is the ability to physically manipulate blood, which is how she accidentally kills her parents. While her sister is spared from that, their relationship is never the same. They're separated as she goes to the Red River Room, and her sister is actually adopted by her godmother. Years later, Marie is accepted into Godolkin. She immediately befriends her roommate, Emma, and meets Luke, the golden boy of campus. Despite that, her troubles at the school are just beginning when she saves upperclassman Andre at the club after he almost kills someone with her power. She's expelled. When she goes to confront Professor Brink behind her expulsion, she discovers that Luke has killed him and then turns on her, uses his powers to commit suicide. That experience only bonds all of them together, but is just the beginning of a tumultuous year for Marie, for sure. She becomes a known person on campus and a mentee of the Dean Dean Shetty. Luke and Professor Brink's deaths are covered up by Vault. Marie's relationships with her fellow students come with their own ups and downs. Her relationship with Jordan really evolves as the series goes on. Jordan comes to her rescue when she's about to be raped by one of the students that can basically drug you by this being near you. They get close after that. They get even closer as all this drama unfolds with the school, and eventually all this tension that they had between them becomes this will they, won't they relationship. Marie and Emma are tight, despite Marie's concern about Emma's eating disorder. Emma basically can shrink or get big depending on how much she eats or how she feels. When Marie finds out that Vault has also reached out to her estranged sister, on top of covering up Luke's death, amidst many other problems, Andre becomes her trusted confidant to finding out what Vault is up to. They discover a secret facility called the Woods, which holds Luke's brother Sam, where the school has sent soups from the school to do illegal experiments on, which includes the two brothers. We saw Sam early on in the series. He tries to escape from the Woods, but it's actually Andre and Marie that stop him and basically help the Godolkin University before they know all this information. They also find out that a deadly virus contagious only to soups have been developed there, headed up by Dean Shetty. Marie tries to reason with politician Victoria Newman from the boys about the virus, but she refuses. As the soups on campus begin to uprise after those trapped in the woods are released, Marie, alongside Andre, tries to convince their friends that this isn't the way. She's then attacked by Homelander at the end of the season for betraying her own kind and wakes up in a doorless hospital room with Andre, Jordan, and Emma. Now let's move on to Andre. Andre is another upperclassman at God U. He's best friends with Golden Boy. He is also the son of Soup Polarity, who's been a part of the Seven and played by Sean Patrick Thomas of Save the Last Dance fame. If you know me, I love Save the Last Dance. Andre is being groomed to follow in his father's footsteps. He's besties with Luke, like I said before, but he's also secretly in love with Luke's longtime girlfriend, Kate, where they're having an affair behind their back, and it creates this rather complicated love triangle even after Luke's suicide. He becomes friends with Marie after his ability to control metal backfires and accidentally stabbing someone while Marie uses her powers to save the girl. This, however, bonds the two of them, especially when Andre finds out about the woods via the secret cell phone that Luke had with information about his brother Sam that was captive there. The video also indicated that Professor Brink, who Luke kills, was also involved in the woods. He puts everything into finding out what exactly was behind Luke's suicide and how they can stop the woods. He joins forces with Marie, Kate, and his longtime friend Jordan to see how Vought is involved. While he's discovering what indecent things are happening, he's also exploring a burgeoning relationship with Kate, despite all their guilt towards what happened with Luke. One of the many things he learns about the woods is that his father knows about it, which leaves him very upset and irate with his father. But when his father has a seizure due to his powers, he has to be there for it. However, that gives him insight into some of the health issues he's been having as well. Alongside Marie, the two attempt to hold Vought accountable for the crimes that they have committed. They also try to talk down their friends involved in the soup uprising, which leads to Andre being trapped in the doorless hospital room with Marie, Jordan, and Emma. Unfortunately, season 1 of Gen V is the only season that features Andre as a character, as tragically Transperdomo died in a motorcycle accident in March of 2024, following the release of the first season of Gen V at the age of only 27 years old. Season 2 of Gen V does go more into depth and does follow up the story, though, of Andre's character, and RIP to Chance Perdomo. He was very talented and one of the highlights of season 1 of this season of Gen V. Then we got Emma Lure. Emma Meyer is played by Liz Broadway, and honestly, let's be real, Emma's the best character on this show. She's just funny. She's very relatable as well, and her powers work as like a disease at the same time. So it's a very conflicting character that will always provide some type of drama and levity to the show. When Emma joins Godolkin U, she's already kind of famous on campus because of her influencer status with her YouTube series Fun Sized with Little Cricket. Her nickname echoes her superpower, where she can shrink to a tiny size like the boys' version of Ant-Man, similar to Termite, who once made someone's penis explode from the inside. If you remember, I think that was The Boys season 2. However, her power made her mother relegate her body size, which has manifested into an eating disorder. Her fame makes her somewhat of a target at the school, figuring out who wants to be friends with her for her, which includes another student disclosing her personal information about Emma's power online. That bitch. I hated that bitch. So I was so happy when she got knocked the fuck out later in the season. However, her ride or die is Marie, her roommate, who also shows deep concern about her eating disorder. She gets involved with the woods by way of Andre asking her to go and see what's going on when she gets small. That's when she meets Luke's brother Sam, who has been captive there. Emma ends up getting close to Sam and breaking him out after accidentally killing a guard who Sam finishes off. When Emma wakes up at a party with all of her friends and no recollection of how she got there, they all find out that their memories were erased by Kate and that she knows all about Sam. And once she gets her memories back, she remembers her time with Sam and the two get romantic. And they fuck a lot. And we'll talk about Sam and what Sam sees when they're fucking in a bit here. He wants to we get Sam wants to confront Kate for all that she did. And when he goes to find her, Emma tries to talk him down. Of course, literally being inside the woods finds Emma helping to bring them down alongside the others, helping to try to contain the soup uprising. Kate gets Sam on board for their pro-soup agenda. And when Emma tries to confront him, they get into a fight. That leads to Sam ending up on Kate's side. Emma ends up getting blamed for the campus attack along with Andre, Jordan, and Marie, and they lock her up in the doorless room as well. This, at the end of the season, we did learn that Emma's powers are not just dictated by her size, how much she eats, or how much she purges. It's actually dictated by how she feels. So when she purges, she feels very down on herself. She feels very sad and depressed. Thus, she gets small. When she eats, she feels good. So she gets bigger. And we learn when Sam basically puts her down, telling her that she's not a superhero at all. She's not helping anybody. It puts her down. It makes her so depressed. She starts crying and she shrinks. So that is the first time at the very end of the season that we realize that the eating disorder part of her powers is something that she put on herself and is not the dictating factor when it comes to her powers. Then we got Kate Dunlap, which is probably the most controversial character of everyone on Gen V. Kate Dunlap, played by Maddie Phillips. When Kate is first introduced, it's as Luke's girlfriend, another popular student at Godolkin. However, you can't write Kate off as just a girlfriend, even though she also ends up with Andre. She's a powerful telepath who can persuade others, manipulate people, and alter memories with the touch of her hand. Think like Marvel's Scarlet Witch meets Jean Grey. When her powers first appeared, she accidentally made her brother disappear. She told her brother to go away, and he listened, and he became lost, and he never came back. Thus, her family were basically scared of her powers. That made her the pariah of her family, who decided to keep her locked away, wear gloves, and rarely socially interact with others in order to keep themselves and others safe. After a visit from Dean Shetty, Kate joins Godolkin University, and with Shetty as her adoptive parent of sorts, she got directly involved with the Woods, unbeknownst to her boyfriend and his captive brother. She also worked as a spy for Dean Shetty, controlling other soups, erasing their memories of her friends if they discovered anything they shouldn't know. The resentment she holds for Dean Shetty and other humans ends with her killing Dean Shetty, basically manipulating her and making her kill herself. This begins a soup uprising at the campus after she goes back to the woods and lets out all the crazy soups from the woods. She wrangles up Sam into her cause, erasing his emotions because he was feeling bad due to what he did to Emma, and he didn't want to feel anything, so she made him not feel anything. Plus, he also had his brother Luke in his head at the same time. When the others are blamed for the killing spree on campus, Kate and Sam are basically deemed the heroes of this all. They become the new guardians of Godolkin. This gets them instant fame and status. Her devotion to Homelander and Vault is shown again during season 4 of The Boys, where she's ready to help kill anyone Homelander sees as against his pro-soup agenda. Then, like I said earlier, one of the most interesting characters on the show is Jordan Lee. They were played by Derek Liu and London Thor. While many of the soups have powers that are pretty cool, Jordan's are really remarkable. One of the top students at Godolkin, Jordan can shift between female and male forms with different powers. The female form can blast energy, while the latter is indestructible. Jordan is best friends with Andre, Luke, and Kate. But when Marie enters the scene, things are immediately intense between them. Marie covers for Jordan after Luke's suicide, creating an unexpected bond between them. Once they begrudgingly get to know each other, especially as they investigate what Luke left behind about the mysterious woods, it's clear that the tension is actually romantic, and they act on that as they work together to bring down Godolkin. Jordan, too, ends up locked away in the scary hospital room at the end of the season. Then we got Sam Redon, which is played by Asa German. Sam enters Gen V with a bang. He immediately flips over a car and smashes into some security guards while running through Godolkin. He's apprehended by Andre and Marie, like we said earlier, and taken back to a mysterious room with the woods in the background. It's later revealed that Sam is Luke's younger brother, a Soup who was diagnosed with schizophrenia and was put into a mental institution. He's angry with his parents for even giving him Pound Pound V, the chemical that makes people superhumans, superheroes. As Andre researches what the woods are, he discovers that Sam is in there, which then allows Emma to break him out. Sam's powers is that he has indestructible super strength to a degree no one is quite prepared for. While he ends up emotionally and romantically connecting with Emma, Sam's schizophrenia continues to worsen due to the experiments at the facility, which gives him visions and hallucinations that make people seem like puppets. So when he's fucking Emma, she turns into a puppet that he's fucking. And he has one of the best scenes of the first season where he's hiding out and basically these people, I guess like from Vault, come and search for him and come try to find him. And he basically kills all of them, but he sees them as puppets that he's just tearing apart. It's a great scene. It's probably the best of the season. Sam remains on the run for a bit, hiding out in an old drive-in where Emma continues to check in on him. When Emma and Marie don't remember him, after he almost kills some people, it's discovered that Kate was helping Dean Shetty do experiments on both Luke and Sam by erasing their memories, making Luke believe his brother was dead. When he sees her again, Sam almost attacks Kate, but he doesn't because of his love for Emma. He shacks up with Emma at the drive-in and then grasps the power of being a superhero, which puts them at odds. Learning that Kate's plan to save the people trapped in the woods, he goes along with her, and the Soup uprising begins, despite a vision of Luke telling him to spare humans. Alongside Kate, he's crowned one of the new Guardians of Godolkin, and by the time he shows up in The Boys Season 4, he's fully pledged his allegiance to Homelander and is by his side and is all about his fucking agenda. Poor Sam. Sam is like the most like misunderstood of anyone on this Gen V show. Like he's so misunderstood. He has mental health issues and people just use that against him the whole entire season. It's quite remarkable how much people, like, regardless of if they're Soup or not, they just take advantage of Sam ridiculously throughout this season. All right, let's get into season 2 of Gen V. So, like we said, we started off with our heroes, our real heroes in this whole situation, our babyface Soups, are locked up in the facility, basically. Marie Monroe, though, she's on the run from Vault after helping win everything and stop the Soup uprising in season 1. She's basically left on the run and basically kind of stuck in a situation where she doesn't quite know where to go. She's running and we see her, she's staying in a hotel and basically trying to figure things out as it goes along. Meanwhile, her friends, Emma Meyer and Jordan Lee, after their harsh confinement in what they call the Elmira Center, they are allowed to re-enroll at Godolkin as Guardians, thanks to Kate Dunlap, but are forced to support Vault's version of the Woods incident by corroborating Homelander's account. This is when we find out when Emma and Jordan first meet up with Kate for the first time since they've been in Elmira. This is when we find out that Andre killed himself at the Elmira Center. We then meet Cypher, the new dean, who pressures Kate to find Marie Monroe, who escaped Elmira. Emma investigates Cypher after recognizing him as an Elmira staff member, but to no avail. Marie goes on the run while searching for her sister, Annabeth. Marie confronts the Patriots and is caught on video as she fights them off using her blood manipulation. And we see that Marie has been practicing because she whoops some ass on all these folks, saving the Starlighters in the process. She then fights Dognut, who is basically like a bounty hunter who has been sent out to find Marie. But she is rescued by Starlight herself, Annie January. First time on Gen V. I popped first episode for Annie being here. Unsuccessfully asks for her help in discovering the Odessa project, initiated by Thomas Godolkin. Meanwhile, Emma discovers the video and asks Jordan to find Marie with her, a request they reluctantly agree to. Jordan and Emma find Marie and have a tense encounter. Kate, who follows them, finds Marie as well and discovers that Marie spoke with Starlight after reading her mind. And when she tries to compel Marie with her powers to tell her what Annie said, Jordan severely injures her. He blasts her with his powers, and she goes propelling into a fucking electricity fucking shit, and it totally fucks up her powers for pretty much the entire rest of the season. And it looks like Marie wants to help her, but she decides not to. They all walk away from Kate and leave her to die. Kind of felt bad for Kate by the end of this episode, even though I hated her by the end of season 1. Episode 2, you get Marie. She returns to the university, and alongside Emma and Jordan, deals with what happened to Kate, who is now in a coma, with Kate suggesting they killed her. Sam visits Kate, and using a nurse as an intermedium, Kate mentions Emma's name before driving the nurse insane with her unstable powers and causing her to kill another nurse. Polarity returns to the university as a professor as he's trying to find out what happened to Andre. He aligns with Emma for this purpose. Cypher has a conversation with Marie and reveals that Andre, knowing about his own illness due to his powers, used it knowingly and then died on purpose to try to rescue his friends. Jordan and Marie enter Cypher's class, which aims to enhance the powers of Soups. Jordan, who is still upset with Marie for escaping Elmira and leaving them behind, talks to her about Andre. They eventually reconcile real good as clap them cheeks, clap them cheeks, clap them cheeks, clap them cheeks. Emma and Polarity investigate Odessa and discover a room with Nazi artifacts and a file revealing that Odessa was a group of infants, all dead except for one. Emma has a conversation with Sam about Kate, but Emma leaves him. Emma reveals to Marie and Jordan after this whole big uprising or big thing happens at Godolkin with all the kids outside. Emma reveals that Marie is in fact a part of the Odessa project, that the one baby of all those infants that they did the Compound V experiments on, Marie is the only one that survived. And the only other child that has survived the Odessa project, if you remember correctly, is Homelander. Which makes Marie a whole lot bigger. It makes her feel like she's going to be a bigger character in season 5 of The Boys. Kate wakes up from her coma in a room with dead staff members just as Cypher enters, and that's how we end episode 2. Episode 3 of Gen V season 2, Marie contacts her parents' friend Pam to discover more about herself. Pam reveals that she was conceived in a laboratory by Vault. The outlier was she gets a picture of of the when she came from the hospital and sees that Cypher is in the picture and he's under the aliens of Dr. Gold, which is the first hint that Cypher isn't exactly who he says he is. Marie also discovers that Pam has been raising Annabeth, her long lost sister. She stops Marie from contacting Annabeth for her own safety. At the university, Kate returns, but is effectively powerless, acts tense, and wishes to inform Vault about the reality of her assault. Cypher rejects this, so she can maintain her reputation. Traumatized by his previous actions, Sam asks Kate to make him apathetic again. But she cannot do it. She doesn't have her powers, so Sam has to basically live with his feelings. He can't get his feelings erased. You fucking maniac. Sorry. Yeah, he has schizophrenia, so I shouldn't be calling him that. I apologize. He lashes out. He begins destroying his dormitory. Jordan tries to stop him, managing to calm him down, and the two fight each other and then wind up bonding with one another, which was interesting. Jordan is named the university's top-ranked student, thrusting him straight into the spotlight. Emma joins the resistance against Homelander's regime with Harper and Allie. Before their speech, Jordan professes their love for Marie, and Marie expresses her love for him. In their speech, Jordan reveals that Andre has died while being trapped in Elmira, and defends the Starlighters by revealing that they themselves attacked Kate, earning boos from the students who are in the crowd and making himself the pariah of the university. Job well done, Jordan. That was a good episode, though. Episode 4. Episode 4 is called Bags. We get after Jordan is vilified by the media, Cypher organizes a publicized fight between Jordan and Marie. If they refuse, Cypher says he will send them and Emma back to Elmira. Attempting to find information about him, Jordan and Kate break into Cypher's house and discover a burnt man in a hypothetical chamber, which would become very important by the end of the season. Marie gains better control of her powers thanks to her lessons with Cypher. He tells her that Odessa was a project to enhance Soups, and she can be more powerful than even Homelander. Marie, with her new powers, discovers that Cypher is human by reading his blood. Harper tries to get Emma to control her powers without her harmful methods. Cypher discovers the break-in at his house and summons Kate to the fight. Marie and the group plot to get Cypher to confess with the help of Kate and Emma's group. Emma manages to sneak through the pipes and give Kate a camera, who attempts to blackmail Cypher by revealing that she knows he is human. Cypher, having explained that the burnt man was his father, remains unfazed, and to Kate and Marie's surprise, reveals his powers by puppeting Jordan's body and attacking Marie, which causes Marie to actually get physically involved and use her powers of blood manipulation. She manages to control Jordan's blood and wins the fight. But man, that was a cool revelation that Cypher can basically make any person his meat puppet, and it was the biggest hint that Cypher isn't exactly who he is, and he could be a meat puppet himself. Episode 5, the kids are not all right. This episode starts a month earlier. We see Cypher was looking after the man in the hyperbaric chamber when Sister Sage of The Boys season 4 shows up. They have an interaction. They talk about everything he's doing, and then they eventually have sex in front of the man from the hyperbaric chamber, with Sage in particular basically blocking out Cypher's face and staring at the man as she fucks Cypher. Which would have told you this was the biggest hint all along. This is when I was like, okay, there's no me speculating. This is what it is. The hyperbaric chamber guy is controlling Cypher. He is Cypher. That was one of the biggest hint for me personally. After the fight, Cypher forces Marie to continue training by threatening to take her and her friends back to Elmira with Kate, who has been sent and imprisoned there after she tried to get Cypher to admit that he's human on camera. Marie convinces Jordan and Emma to rescue Kate. Emma unsuccessfully asks Sam to join them, who is visiting his parents and kind of just doesn't want to be involved, wants to take care of his mental health and spend time with his parents, and Emma respects that. When he discovers that they handed him over to Vault because they could not control him, Sam accidentally injures his father. Marie, Jordan, and Emma enter Elmira, but are captured. Sam later reconciles with his mother after accepting that his mental instability wasn't caused by Compound V, but something that he was born with. His schizophrenia was basically hereditary, and they thought that injecting him with Compound V would basically solve that, but instead he gave him superpowers, and he's in the situation that he's in. Polarity confronts Cypher about Andre, learning that he died when Cypher tried to enhance his powers. He later suffers a seizure. Cypher shows Marie that he is holding her sister Annabeth as a prisoner in Elmira. And he just does this to basically give her, like, put the bait at the end because he wants to see her break through to a next level of her powers. The group escaped their cells thanks to Kate. When they go to Annabeth's cell, though, they find her dead with her neck basically split open. In her grief, Marie's powers develop even further. She successfully manipulates Annabeth's blood back into her cells. She basically sews up the wound and revives her, brings her back to life. Marie is fucking Jesus. Great ending to the episode. Probably my favorite of the season so far at that point. Number 6, episode 6, cooking lessons. Marie and the group managed to escape from Elmira thanks to Annabeth, who has precognitive powers, and Sam. They reach a library and take shelter. I love the way that Sam just busts through a wall like he was the Kool-Aid man to help make the save for them. That was great stuff. They reach a library and take shelter there. Emma sends a message for help to Harper, who contacts Polarity, whom Cypher is puppeteering. Cypher sends Victor after Marie, though. After a struggle, Victor is killed by Zoe Newman, who is searching for Marie after her mother died at the end of season 4. And she is with none other than Stan Egger, the former CEO of Vault. The group decides to go with them to their bunker. Stan explains to Marie that she and Homelander are Odessa's only successes, a project he shut down, believing Marie to be a failure. Sam attempts to reconnect with Emma, but Emma backs out. Emma's actually been getting close to Harper's brother at the same time. Stan discusses the similarities between Thomas's work and Cypher's, further making that connection to who Cypher really is. With Jordan and Kate deducing that the burnt man in the chamber is actually Thomas, and that Cypher is using it to secede and establish a soup supremacy. Stan considers using Thomas to take down Homelander and take back Vault. Cypher reveals to Polarity that his plan is to kill all the weak soups, kill the herd, basically, and leave the strong ones, starting in Godolkin. Polarity, who is subdued at this point in Cypher's house, he basically is able to subdue Cypher, and he throws him out of the window using his powers out of nowhere. Kate asks Marie to heal her, but Marie refuses as they head off to confront Cypher. This is after Marie once again leaves the group. How many times you gonna do this shit? Like, Jordan is absolutely right. That's all Marie does. She just leaves behind the people that she loves so much. She says she loves them all the time. She left behind her sister too. Her sister. And only when we Kate. Marie just, man, that was a dumb decision by the end of episode 6. I hated that. Episode 7, Hell Week. Annabeth wakes up looking for Marie after she has a bad premonition. She having a bad preognition about her, only for the group to discover that both Marie and Kate are gone. Kate tries to get Marie to cure her powers, but Marie, due to a lack of trust, refuses to do so. Jordan and Annabeth talk about when they discovered their powers, and Jordan begins to doubt their own relationship with Marie. Marie and Kate go to Cypher's house to look for Thomas, but Polarity tells them that he has taken him and shares his plan. Polarity has a seizure and everything starts going crazy, all the metal in the room. So Marie basically has to take it upon herself to heal him completely. And basically he feels healthier and better than he's ever felt. Marie just put him back to love, made him superpower Polarity. Sam and Emma arrive at the university to look for Marie. Cypher offers Marie her friend's safety if she returns to training. The group attempts to stop Marie, telling Annabeth's preconfidence of her dying, and a lot of other people dying along the way as well. But Marie weakens them with her power. She uses her blood manipulation to throw her friends in the air, basically not listening to anybody. She's like, I'm gonna do this shit and I will fuck y'all up if y'all get in the way. Which I was just like, from the end of episode 6 into this episode, oh my god, I hated Marie. Marie didn't even realize that fucking Godolkin / Cypher manipulated her into doing everything she had done, leaving the group in episode 6, and everything she does in this episode here. The group attempts to stop her, but she uses her powers against them. Polarity and part of the group stall Cypher, and a fight ensues. Marie finds and heals Thomas Godolkin, which I immediately, when she goes into that room and she sees the hyperbaric chamber, Thomas Godolkin, I'm like, please don't save him. Please get more information. Please don't think you're doing something good. You're not doing something good. You're doing something fucking horrible. Oh my god, that was so dumb. Fuck. Polarity in the group discover that Cypher is actually a non-soup, an ordinary man named Doug Brightbill, who was controlled by the hyperbaric chamber man, Thomas Godolkin. So she fully brings him back to health. He looks like he's fresh and new, like he's been alive for years. Kate, Emma, and Annabeth help Marie escape after she basically drained all her powers to help Thomas Godolkin come back to health. And Thomas Godolkin is in his bag. He's feeling himself. He's like, the breath is so good. And Kate is able to read his mind just a bit and realize that there is nothing good that can come from this, and gets them the fuck up out of there. Thomas begins his plan to kill all the weak soups. He finds one of the fraternity's pledges who's wearing like a dog leash and wearing a diaper. He comes out and he's wearing a diaper from being in the hyperbaric chamber this whole time, and basically asks him about his power. His power is something stupid, so he basically makes him wrap the leash around his head, around his neck, and choke himself to death. That is the type of curing the herd that we're going to get with Thomas Godolkin. In 1967, Thomas Godolkin injected himself with V1, the version Soldier Boy and Stormfront had. We get that explanation at the beginning of the final episode of season 2 of Gen V, episode 8, Trojan. Reference to the Trojan horse. Spoiler alert. So yeah, he takes the same V1 that Stormfront and Soldier Boy took, and just before being burnt in a laboratory fire that killed all the doctors that were at the laboratory. In the present, the group tends to an injured Doug, whom Marie cannot heal as she is too weak right now. Polarity drives Doug to a hospital, talking about Andre's kindness and bravery. I thought this was one of the sweetest and most wholesome moments of the show, where Doug really gives Polarity a sense of relief, a sense of kind of taking away his grief for a few moments, talking about the kindness of Andre and how he was so brave in trying to rescue his friends, and that he's the bravest superhero that he's ever seen in his life. And that really made Polarity's heart feel good for the first time since his son passed away. But out of nowhere, this sweet moment is taken away from us because Black Noir 2 is here and he's attacking both the car. He stabs Doug with a sword through the top of the car. He then captures Polarity after taking a selfie with him because apparently he's a huge Polarity fan, we find out in this episode. Marie reconciles with Kate and finally is able to forgive her. After a nice little coming to Jesus trauma bonding moment with Emma, Kate, and Marie, when Emma goes to the bathroom, Marie finally reconciles, finally lets go of all of her anger and basically animosity towards Kate, and finally heals her. She brings back her powers, so she's fully healed again. Thomas prepares seminars with the students to eliminate the weak and enhance his powers, hoping to control Marie and eventually Homelander, who he blames for the soup's decline and weakness. We learn all of this from his relationship with Sister Sage. Sage didn't waste any time in fucking that man at the beginning of the episode. This man is living the best life, having steaks and drinking wine and pouring himself on it. He's feeling and tasting stuff for the first time in like 100 years. So you got to excuse the guy. He's a little bit happy with himself. When Sage disapproves of his plan because he tells her of the plan, because Sage is not really with this and questions him about it, but he says that he's trying to power himself up so he's ready to take control of Marie, and then eventually he could take control of Homelander because he feels that Homelander is really a disgrace to all the soups. That he wants this soup supremacy, but he's not even that good. He just surrounds himself around awful soups, and that's why he looks better in comparison. Sage disapproves of this plan, so she secretly frees Polarity after a nice little monologue telling him about like how you always fighting against the machine and all of that. She basically leaves the prison open. This is after we get a great scene with Black Noir talking about his films and being a big fan of Polarity, and Polarity had no idea this man actually talks now. The second version of him actually talks. Marie arrives at the seminar while the rest of the group infiltrates through Black Hole. They all go in through my man Black Hole's asshole and escape. This is after homie that drugs everybody tried to basically convince. This is after the group tried to convince all the school to not go to this this seminar because he's just going to kill people. But some people decided not to listen, but they were able to get the help of Black Hole, who was clutch here. They subdue Thomas after Harper controls him and evacuates the students. Harper's ability is that she just has to touch someone and she gets their powers for upwards of 5 minutes. So she takes Thomas's powers and is able to manipulate him and the rest of the students to escape. Thomas, though, he manages to gain control of Marie. Marie takes way too fucking long to kill him after Harper takes control of him. So I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? This is after also Allie, who is Bushmaster, because her pubic hair can basically form into ropes and stuff, and she ties them up. Hilarious. I do love how they use the weaker soups to a part of their plan to show Thomas that even the weaker soups have a purpose to them and can accomplish a goal. That was great. That was a great kind of story that they tell. And I love how everybody was using their powers in this big meetup. They're fighting against the other students. So we see Jordan fighting in there. We see Sam fighting together with them. Sam and Emma's new crush start fighting together and teaming up together to fight some fools. That was nice. Emma's able to grow big into a giant without any trouble whatsoever. I was pumped for that. I got so excited for that. I was like, let's fucking go, Emma. Let's go. Oh, great stuff. Great stuff. Just when it looks like Marie is under the full control of Thomas, she starts manipulating the blood of her entire group, and she tries to kill them, or Thomas tries to kill them through Marie. Polarity, though, arrives just in the nick of time. He manages to remove Thomas's control from Marie by blasting him with his energy. This allows Marie to recover and gain control of herself again. Afterwards, you get Polarity has Thomas Godolkin right at his means. His power is basically useless against Polarity due to his powers of controlling metal and his mind being so powerful. So he's standing there. Marie's standing there. It looks like Polarity is gonna finish the blow for Andre, but instead Marie's like, no, fuck you, nigga. I'm blowing this nigga up, and explodes his entire body. She did one better than Victoria Newman. She didn't explode his head. She exploded his entire body. Blood burst. Booyah. Oh, Maurice Powers is just so beast. This is so beast. So beast. Afterwards, Polarity tells the group to flee while he stays as a scapegoat. As fugitives, they are recruited by Annie January. Starlight shows up and rescues them and wants them to be part of her resistance against Homelander and Vault, which includes, who runs into the scene at the end, my boy A-Train. So the season ends with our group of students from Godolkin, the Guardians of the Godolkin, joining forces with the Starlighters, and that is the setup for what should be a very compelling season 5 of The Boys, with the Starlighters and the Guardians of Godolkin versus Homelander and the Seven. Ooh, I'm ready for season 5. I know y'all are. I know I am as well. And as always, we can't just go over the seasons. We can't just review both seasons and not do anything else, right? Right? Y'all know me better than that. So y'all know what time it is. It's time for a tier list. A tier list. It's time for a tier list where we get a tier list of Gen V. I'm gonna just Gen V. I won't do The Boys for now. We'll do The Boys when we preview season 5 of The Boys. But we got 5 tiers here for our tier ranking of every character from Gen V. I believe this is just the characters from Gen V season 2, but we might have some people from season 1. Of course, there's people that's been a part of season 1 and 2. So we have our S tier, our top tier, which we call the God You Goats, or God You Goat, goats, whatever. God You Goats. So that is the top, the upper echelon, the best characters on this show. We got our Super Soups. So these are great characters that just missed the cut of being that kind of layered characters. They give us a little bit of the drama, the comedy, everything we offer from the Boys universe. Those are the great characters, but not quite the S tier. Then we have the good characters, but I call them fine but dumb. These are characters that make dumb decisions, yet they are good, but got to worry about them. We got stupid. These are just stupid characters. These are kind of characters that, why are you here? Why are you so stupid? We're asking a lot of why questions about. And we have pieces of shit. POS, our bottom tier. These are the worst of the worst characters in Gen V. All right, now we're going to go through the characters here. I believe first up, I believe this is Harper. Is this Harper or Allie? I'm going to say this is Harper or Allie. No, this is Allie. Yeah. Yes, Harper's over here. This is Allie. She's the Bushmaster. Stupid freaking power that she has, but she was fine. She was fine. A little dumb. Yeah, I think she's perfect. Right in the middle. Right in the middle. Then we got Kate Dunlap. Kate Dunlap, her power make her just an absolute beast, and she was really the main villain to me of season 1 of Gen V, but she did a good role of that, and I think that season 2 did an excellent job of telling her redemption arc, her redemption story. So Kate, love Maddie Phillips in general. I'm gonna go with great. She's a great character. She's great. She's layered. She has a very tragic story with everything that went down with her parents and her brother. So yeah, Kate belongs in the great suit. Might move up to the goats, the God You Goats. Cypher, aka Doug. He's fine. He should be fine or dumb, but I mean, he's pretty stupid. He was pretty stupid. Should have just kept working at Blockbuster. Shouldn't have talked to that old man in the wheelchair. Pretty stupid. Emma, without further ado, Emma belongs in the top. Emma is a God You Goat. Emma's like the best character. She brings the comedy. She's the great source for comedy on this show. She's got such a traumatic and tragic character in general, where she thinks that the eating disorder basically is the trigger point and controls her powers, not realizing that it is just something that makes her either happy or sad And that is the real thing that controls her power. I love that realization, that reveal at the end of season 1. And I love the reveal at the end of season 2, where she's able to finally control her powers and just feel happy about herself on her own and become a giant just thinking about it. That was a great moment. Then we got Harper, who is quite underrated. I like the power, and she came in clutch at the end. Honestly, Harper, she should be right next to Allie, but I think because of how important she is at the end, she kind of sneaks to the bottom of Super Soup. She is super. She is super for her power. The power to take other people's powers for no matter how much time it is. It's a certain amount of time, but it worked for me. I like it. Jordan Lee is another God You'd goat. It's another God You'd goat. Do we have both Jordans? I think they put both Jordans separately. I wouldn't put them separately, but both Jordans belong in God You'd goats. It's such a great character, such a great idea in general. So the fact that this comes from the comic book, you got to give it up to the writers of the original comic book for The Boys. They were very smart to come up with this and bring it into the television genre, because we have not seen a character that addresses the topics and can go the places that Jordan Lee is able to do. This is like a very revolutionary character in the genre of superhero comics and TV shows. Jordan Lee is a go. Marie Monroe has basically got herself down to great. I think if I was just doing this tier list on C1, Marie is a God You'd goat, and she's probably at the top of the God You'd goats. But just the decision making, the ability of Godolkin to manipulate her and believe her own hype. She was feeling herself. She was smelling her own shit and saying it smelled like roses. And I did not like her towards the end of the season. And then when she did the whole heel turn when Godolkin controls her, I was scared for her. I was scared. So I did view Marie as part heel in season 2, which drops her down to great character, super. Polarity was probably like pizza shit or bottom tier like season 1. He got up to God You Go for me. He's a God You Go. He comes in so clutch. He is the reason why our heroes are rescued at the end of season 2. So he has to be a part of the God You Go. He completely redeemed himself from season 1. Sam is another one who's been a heel in Gen V, but I think season 2 did a good job of redeeming him. I would put him along with Kate and Marie, where I've had conflicted views of all 3 of these characters. I think they did a good job of adding some layers of sympathy to Sam. You should have already had the sympathy from what happened to him in season 1, but I think they did a good job of telling the story and how his parents view him in season 2. They got him even more sympathy because of it. Stan Egger, he's awesome. He's awesome in general, and he does come in clutch. So I'll put him at great. He's an OG. He's an OG of The Boys. So he was awful in The Boys. I probably would have ranked him much lower, but here he comes in clutch. He makes the save for our heroes at the end, so he can get into Super Soup, and then finally, Thomas Godolkin, great villain, piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. He was about to kill everybody, kill all the weak soups. You fucking racist piece of shit. He's like Trump. He's like a superpowered Trump who wants to get rid of all the Mexicans, but he wants to get rid of all the soups. I'm not with Godolkin. Godolkin, you are firmly in a piece of shit. So that is our tier list for Gen V Season 2. We got our God You Goats. We got Emma. We got both Jordan Lees. We got Polarity. Then we got Super Soup, our great characters. We got Kate. We got Marie. We got Sam. We got Stan Egger. And we got, I believe, this is Harper. Then we got Fine But Dumb. We got Allie, a.k.a. Bushmaster. We got Stupid, which is just Doug. Doug was stupid because he was basically a meat puppet. And we got a piece of shit, which is Thomas Godolkin, who is a racist piece of shit who tried to kill people because they were weak, quote unquote, weak. So that's the tier list for Gen V Season 1, Season 2. Let me know what you think. If I got anything wrong, if you think a character deserves to be in another tier, let me know. I will post this on the True Hill Heat Twitter account so you can see it for yourself. But that is how I rank the characters from Gen V Season 2. Take a look, take a picture. It'll last longer. But that is the tier list, but that is all for us here. That is the end of our review. That was my opinions of Gen V Seasons 1 and 2. I want to hear from all of you. What did you think about Gen V Season 2? Did you think that it was a great setup for The Boys Season 5? Are you going to watch The Boys Season 5? Where are you in your Boys universe? Have you watched Gen V already? Have you not watched it? Is there something that I could tell you, a question I can answer that will make you watch it so you get fully enthralled into the Boys universe ahead of Season 5 coming up in 2026? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Remember to drop the thumbs up on the video. Share this video with all your Gen V family, friends, and fans. And of course, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, I will be back once again with another review coming up very soon. Monday, we got our Power Book 4 Force Season 3, Episode 3 review with myself and Miss Chrissy Love. So join us for that. And we got True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment dropping, I believe, either Monday or Tuesday next week. So be on the lookout for all of that. Enjoy all the content. Enjoy your weekend. If you're a wrestling fan, go over to True Hill Heat Wrestling YouTube channel where we had our Full Gear preview on Friday evening or Friday afternoon. We got our True Hill Heat flagship podcast, and we got full coverage of Full Gear weekend, which I will be live for. So we may get some content from Full Gear as well on the channel. So go over and subscribe to True Hill Heat Wrestling. Check out True Picks from this week. Check out the latest episode of True Heel Heat Check with myself and Chris G, giving you a preview of this season of the NBA. And join us back for the next time, for the next show review or sports talk here on True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment. This has been our Gen V Seasons 1 and 2 review. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. I am signing off until next time.